I grew up in an old house. It was built in the 40s. I lived there from age 3 till I was married at the age of 21. There were always strange things happening. A sink faucet turned on, a pitcher moved. Nothing crazy or sinister. It was almost like we were being pranked. So we never felt scared as time passed. It seemed to settle into my room. I even named it George. Once on my birthday, a marble out of nowhere rolled across the floor to me. We laughed and just thought George was wishing me a happy birthday. The day I brought my future husband home to meet my parents, George wasn't happy. It sounded like the attic exploded. Boxes were being thrown, and the attic door repeatedly opened an inch or two and would slam. I told my future husband it was George, to which he laughed.
You need Adam. So you must have fun when you're out.
I got married and moved out. In time, my husband showed his true colors, and I ended up being mentally and physically abused. After 9 years and 2 children, I left, and I briefly moved back home. One night, as I was laying in bed, crying over the mess I had gotten myself into, I felt a very faint pressure rub across my cheek, like someone had just softly caressed my face. I knew it was George trying to comfort me. I was able to get a place of my own, and we moved out, while my now ex moved out of state. A few years passed, and my parents didn't hear or see much of George. My ex-husband turned himself around, but evidently fell in hard times, and on a weekend visit to see the kids, he didn't have the money to rent a hotel. My parents stepped up and said he could stay the night at their house, and I could bring the kids there. The weekend came, my parents put my ex in my old bedroom. The attic opened and closed a few times. My parents knew George wasn't happy. The story, as my ex told it, sometime during the night, he felt a heavy pressure on his chest, like someone was sitting on top of him. He couldn't move. The bed began to shake violently, and he felt like he was punched in the face. He began to scream for help.
Help!
At the top of the stairs, looking like he'd been in a fight. They swear it looked like he was pushed as he toppled down the stairs. He refused medical treatment, saw the kids later in the day, and never came back to my parents' house. Seems George decided to let my ex no comment. It's a bitch after all. Ha ha!